Hello, in this video we're looking at issue 65 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. We're adding more models to our Phobos Space Marine collection, and we'll be showing off the Infiltrators and the new Phobos Lieutenant on the battlefield. Hello, I'm Mike, and this is Will. We are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And we're bringing you issue 65 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine today. In this issue we've got 7 more Space Marines, a Lieutenant in Phobos Armour, a Suppressor Sergeant, an Eliminator Sergeant, an Infiltrator Sergeant, and 3 other Infiltrators, including a Helix Adept. And you might be able to see some of those in action in today's game, but you can skip ahead to find out now using the time code in the description or the chapter bars. But we'll have a look through the issue first. First up, we have the battle record for the Phobos Lieutenant. So he obviously occupies a similar battlefield role to the other Lieutenant we have, but is equipped for stealthier operations. So he favours a pair of combat blades, and he uses a marksman bolt carbine, and he actually has a grav shoot, which enables him to deep strike, and wears Mark 10 Phobos armour like the other Vanguard Marines. And you can go over his equipment and stuff there and name them all. Here we have background here on Logan Grimnar, the Great Wolf, the chapter master of the Space Wolves, a deadly melee combatant, even taking on Magnus the Red, the demon Primarch of the Thousand Suns, although despite being so he's quite a jovial sort. Then we have some background on Ragnar Blackmane, the Black Wolf, also known as the Young King, as the youngest Space Wolf to ever become commander of a great company. Most of his saga is about his enmity with Ghazghkull Thraka, the greatest Orc warlord who ever lived. And then more background on Space Marine vehicles, the Dreadnought specifically, effectively armoured coffins with weapons attached. Marines that are mortally wounded in combat can be saved by being placed in these coffins and continue to serve the Emperor. So you can see the Redemptor Dreadnought there with a Power Fist and a heavy onslaught Gatling cannon, but unfortunately due to some quirk they actually seem to burn out a lot quicker than the older model of Dreadnoughts. And it also has background there on the Invictor Warsuit, which looks like a Dreadnought, but actually isn't, because it's something a living Marine can get in and pilot around, but is specifically designed for stealth operations when the Vanguard Marines need some heavier equipment. And then the build guide for the models we got in this issue, very easy to put together. A few details to note are the smoke grenade launcher that the Suppressor Sergeant has under his autocannon. And then the 4 Infiltrators, so there's the Sergeant, the Helix Adept, you can mark him out with his pouch of equipment. And also again, make note of the base sizes, Infiltrators go on the smaller ones, other guys go on the big ones. And the painting guide, pretty much exactly the same as the other Vanguard Marines, so the Eliminator will have his cloak, Infiltrators will be basically the same. But there are a few details like the Eliminator Sergeant's binoculars. Don't forget the Suppressor Sergeant's face mask should be red because he is a sergeant. And also here painting his hair. Again, lots of equipment and pouches to go over. One Infiltrator is throwing a smoke grenade. And the medical kit that the Helix Adept is carrying as well. And you can see the finished models there. We have a lore fold out for this issue as well, so this is going over more background on the war for the Ramesses system, this time on Kjalma's skull, which the Imperium thought was a dead world, but is actually a former tomb world of the Zarrakin dynasty. So the Space Marines have taken over command of the Imperial forces in the sector and are conducting an assault on Kjalma's skull to try and cut off a major Necron force. As you can see there, even Primarch Prabuta Gilliman himself will be arriving to take command. And over on the left, some of the Necron forces that are either being raised from the tomb or are being sent. And then the Silent King, keen on fostering friendly rivalry between his overlords, is sending another overlord riding a command barge to oversee the defence of Kjalma's skull. And then on the other side you can see the various Imperial forces landing on the planet and some key locations like Bastion Ultima, the staging point for the Ultramarines, Station Thalner, which is a ruined research outpost which was originally the only Imperial garrison on the planet, has since been taken by the Necrons. So with that over, I can hand you over to Will and he can take us into today's game.
So in this issue we get the datasheet for the Lieutenant in Phobos Armour, since he's actually the only unit that we got this issue that we don't have the datasheet for yet. He has the same profile as the other Lieutenant, but he has slightly different equipment. He has a bolt pistol and mastercrafted Oculus bolt carbine, which is rapid fire 1, 24-inch range, strength 4 AB0, 2 damage, but the target does not receive benefits of cover against it, and his paired combat blades give him -1 AP with his melee weapons. He has the same tactical precision aura as the normal Lieutenant, and the Company Heroes allows you to take 2 Lieutenants as a single HQ choice, but he does have the death from above rule that we learnt about in the previous issue, so he can arrive later in the game if you want him to, and he has the Phobos keyword as well. And a tutorial, well, tactical precision is literally exactly the same as the other Lieutenant, rerolling 1s to wound within 6 inches. And company heroes here, just showing you can take the 2 lieutenants for only 1 HQ slot, effectively. And here's the backstory for today's game. The Imperium have found an entrance to the Necrons' underground tombs, and they want to break in and plunder all the Xenos technology inside. And the faction briefings reflect that. The Necrons obviously trying to stop the Imperium getting in, and the Imperium are trying to get in. And here is our veteran mission, Breaking the Seals. It was a 50 power mission. The battlefield looks like this. There are 3 objective markers, or action markers, depending on which bit you read. There are 3 objective markers, one right in the centre, and then 2 towards Player A's deployment zone. Player A is the Imperial player, Player B is the Necrons, who are the defender in this game. And the 6-inch deployment zones on the short edges of 2 mat board. And the objective is very simple. There is an activate glyph action, which 1 unit from the Imperium army can start to perform at the end of the movement phase. If it's in range of one of the 3 objective markers, and there are no enemy units within range of the objective marker, it's completed at the end of the next command phase, as long as the unit is still within range of the objective marker. And to achieve victory, the Imperium simply has to complete the action on 2 different objective markers of the 3. If they manage that, then they are immediately victorious and the game ends, otherwise the Necrons win. So we will show you the armies we've picked, get them deployed, and then come back to start our game. So here's my Necron army. This is a 50 power detachment, of course. We've only got the mandatory 2 HQ choices here, the Overlord and Chronomancer. The Overlord has to be my Warlord because of the new rule we got last issue. I've got my 3 troops choices, 2 Warriors and an Immortals unit, the 5 Death Marks, 2 units of 3 Scarab Swarms, 3 Scorpion Destroyers, the Triarch Stalker, and 3 Tomb Blades. I've gone for as many fast units as possible so I can try and get to those objectives before the Imperium can do their action. And here is the Imperial army.
So we've got a mix of Marines and a small contingent of AdMech this time. So we've got 4 HQ choices. We've got the Captain, the Phobos Librarian, the new Phobos Lieutenant, and the Tech Priest Dominus. There's 4 troops choices, which are the Unit 5 Infiltrators. Actually got enough to have a legal unit now. 2 units of 5 Assault Intercessors and the 10 Skitarii Rangers. And then we have the unit of 3 Aggressors and the unit of 3 Outriders. I'll make the Captain my Warlord, and the Phobos Librarian, his 2 psychic powers are going to be Soul Sight and Hallucination.
And we've deployed the board like this, so we've got several buildings, and you can see the 3 action markers, one right in the centre and then 2 towards the Imperial deployment zone. Having a look at the Necron deployment first. Down here, closest to the camera, we've got the 3 Scorpion Destroyers and the Immortals, and then the Chronomancer and the Tomb Blades towards the middle. And on the other side, the other unit of warriors in the middle, with the Triarch Stalker behind them, and the Necron Overlord. The Death Marks are in or around that building, hopefully to move onto the roof so they can get some good shooting angles. And 1 unit of Scarabs is on the far flank there. And the other unit of Scarabs and the other unit of Necron Warriors are in strategic reserve, so I had to pay a command point to do that, because in the veteran missions you have to do that. So that's 1 command point for up to 9 power. And you can see the Imperial deployment.
So in my deployment zone, I've got a unit of Assault Intercessors here at the left or the top of the board. And in the centre, we've got the other unit of Assault Intercessors with the Phobos Lieutenant and the Captain behind, and then the Outriders. And then my AdMech contingent nearest the camera is the Skitarii Rangers and the Dominus. And I used concealed positions to deploy the Infiltrators and the Phobos Librarian in this structure over here. I did consider putting them in the middle structure, but I think that would just make them prime target for the entire Necron army. And I also spent a command point to put the Aggressors in strategic reserves as well.
We both start this game with 5 command points therefore, because we spent 1 for strategic reserves, and then we're rolling off to see who goes first. Well, I've rolled a 6.
I haven't.
Well, I definitely need to go first, I think, in this game, otherwise the Imperium get a massive advantage immediately, so Necron's turn 1. And first command protocol will be Sudden Storm for +1 movement on everything.
I'm going to pick the Doctriner that gives them +1 ballistic skill, -1 weapon skill, but I'm not going to bother choosing a counter skill since it only affects the Tech Priest at the moment.
I'll put my will be done on the Death Marks to counteract the -1 they're going to have for moving and shooting, and the Chronomatron will go on the Immortals. We're down on the near side of the board. The Immortals advance, because they wouldn't have much in range to shoot at anyway, as did the Destroyers and the Chronomancer, so they're all getting themselves tucked into this building. And the main portion of the army is just all moving up normally, except the Scarabs which did advance, and are getting into some firing positions hopefully. We've only really got 1 main target, so we're going to shoot at those Infiltrators over there, and I'll start with the Triarch Stalker shooting at them.
Going to spend a command point for Transhuman Physiology.
6 shots on 3s. 5 hits wounding on 4s because of Transhuman. It saved 1 of them, so 2 wounds, AP -3.
Cover, so 5+. Saved 1, first failed save is ignored.
Yeah, that's because of the Helix Gauntlet. I'll do the Tomb Blade shooting at them next. So we've got the Twin Gauss, 4 shots hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s because the Triarch Stalker has shot at them and hit them. So we've got 3 hits, which wound on 4s, so nothing. Tesla, 3s, 6s do extra hits. Only 1 hit, wound on 4, that's a wound. No AP, but ignoring cover.
3+ armour. Saved it.
And Particle Beamer, 5 hits, wounding on 3s. And 4s, 2.
2+ saves. Made both.
Necron Warriors will shoot at them as well. 10 shots hitting on 3s, reroll 1s. They all hit.
5 3+ saves, 1 wound.
Finally, I've got the death marks to shoot. They're going to shoot at the librarian because they can ignore lookouts there. 5 shots hitting on 2s, -1 for moving, but I used my will be done on them. 4 hits. Wounding on 3s, 6s do a mortal wound in addition. I've got 4 wounds and a mortal wound. Although his camo cloak does counteract all the AP, so he's on 3s.
So failed 2, so I think I will re-roll one of those. No, so he takes 3 damage. Yeah. 2.
But there isn't any more shooting and no charges, obviously, so on to Imperium turn 1.
So up here, the Infiltrators and the Librarian are going to stay where they are. This unit of Assault Intercessors advanced, so it came around the box, just trying to jam up Objective 2 with bodies. Other unit of Assault Intercessors moved up normally, hiding behind that building. Then down at the bottom, the Skitarii Rangers are staying still. The Dominus had to move a bit to get in range of something. The Lieutenant and the Captain have moved down. Captain's going to be doing the action, so the Outriders that moved ahead aren't going to be able to reroll 1s. They're just getting in the way at the moment. So the Librarian's going to start the Psychic phase with Soul Sight. I think it's a 6. He gets it with an 11.
I don't have the spider, so I can't deny that.
Yeah, so that's going to go on the Infiltrators to let them reroll hits and ignore cover. And then he'll try and do Smite, I suppose. Hitting 5. He gets it with a 9. So that will hit the Tomb Blades for D3 mortal wounds. 3.
And that kills 1.5 with no reanimation allowed because it's not a shooting or melee attack.
On to the shooting phase. So I do the Tech Priest Dominus. He's going to shoot at the Tomb Blades because that's the only thing in range of his Volkite Blaster. We've already -1 hit removed, so we got 3 shots hitting on 3s. They all hit. Really on 3s, and 6s do 2 mortal wounds in addition. Oh, there's 2 mortal wounds and a save.
So if I fail the save, they'll all be dead. But I did not. So it's just 2 mortal wounds, leaves 1 Tomb Blade on 1 wound. Destroyed one might come back. No.
I do the Skitarii Rangers, and they're all just about in range of the Warriors, except for the blast pistol, obviously. And the Sniper will actually shoot at the death marks. So the Sniper has 1 shot on a 2, rerolling 1s. He hits, wounds on a 3, 6s do a mortal wound in addition. He just wounded normally.
AK -2, but we're in cover, so 4+. Made it.
Galvanic Rifles, 12 shots on 2s, rerolling 1s. Good job, we have that +1 ballistic skill, so they will hit. And they wound on 4s. 7. 2 plasma shots, not supercharged. Hit. Wound on 3s. 1 wound.
Have to put it on the guy who was in cover, who would need a 6. He's dead.
And then the arc rifle hits. Wounds on 3. It does. -2.
Also be saved on 6. Yes. So 4 dead, reanimating on 5s rolling 1s. And so far, 1.
One of these Assault Intercessors can see the Tomb Blade, so I'm going to shoot his bolt pistol at it, see if I can finish it off. 1 shot on a 4. New. The Lieutenant can have a shot. He'll put a shot into the Immortals. That's the only thing he can see, and he's just in range. 1 shot on a 2. Hits. Wounds on a 5. Hey, wounded.
There's some in cover, so 2. Oh, he ignores cover, but I rolled a 3 anyway.
I'll do the Bikes next, so they'll shoot their bolt rifles at the Warriors. 12 shots hitting on 3s. No re-rolls because the Captain's doing the action. 9 hits, wounding on 4s, rerolling 1s because of the Lieutenant. 5 wounds, AP -1.
5 5s. Only made 1, so 4 will go down. Do they come back on 5s, rerolling 1s? Yeah, really.
We've only got the Infiltrators left, and they're going to shoot at the Warriors as well. 10 shots because of Bolter Discipline because they didn't move, and they reroll everything because of Soul Sight, and they ignore cover as well because of Soul Sight, and 6s automatically wound. 1 auto wound so far, getting another auto wound, and there's 6 regular hits, wounding on 4s, they all wound.
8 4+ saves, no cover allowed. 5 die, reanimation. Gets 3 4.
And they've reanimated in range of the Librarian, so you might as well shoot his bolt pistol at them. On a 3, misses. In the charge phase, the Infiltrators are going to try and charge the Warriors.
I will spend a command point to Overwatch because I've got loads, so 10 shots hitting on 6s. 4 hits, winning on 4s. Oh, 0.
And their charge is an 11, that's definitely enough. So the Infiltrators will charge like that. Just to show off, I'm going to spend a command point for Gene Raw Might, so this means 6s to hit with melee automatically wound. 5 auto wounds and 3 regular hits. And then these wound on 4s. Getting another 2, so that's 7 wounds.
7 4+ saves. So 4 die. Reanimation. 1 back, 2 1s to reroll, 3 back. So we'll reanimate like that and then get some attacks back. 4s attacks on 3s. 3 hits winning on 4s, 1.
3+ armour. Made it.
But the Warriors did lose 6, so they would fail a morale test on a 6. But they're fine. But that is the end of Imperium turn 1, with the captain doing the action. So on to Necrons turn 2. The protocol is Vengeful Stars, and the directive will be 6s to win with shooting our extra AP.
For my Canticore, I'm going to choose Benediction of Elder Sire, and then I'm not going to choose a Doctrine or Imperative for the Rangers.
My command phase, that Tomb Blade regains its wound. Mine will be done by going on the Death Marks again, and we used the Resurrection Orb on the Warriors, and the Chromatron on the Scorpic Destroyers. 6 Warriors missing, coming back on 5 re-rolling 1s. 2 come back. And then in my movement phase, the one remaining Tomb Blade is moved up to Objective 2 so that it's within 3 inches, which means that the Imperium can't start the objective in their next movement phase, if it's still there. That unit of Scarabs has moved up to the Librarian. Death Marks will stay where they are, the Necron Overlord is moved to confront the Infiltrators. The unit of Necron Warriors has fallen back into the central building. Shark Stalker is moved right up into the middle of the board. The Immortals moved out so they can see things. The Chronomancer and the Destroyers have also come out of hiding. And then in the reinforcement step, the Necron Warriors and the Scarabs have arrived over on this side of the board. More than 9 inches from the Outriders, and more than 12 inches from the Infiltrators, because they're their Omni Scramblers. In the shooting phase, I'm going to start with the Shark Stalker. It's going to shoot the Assault Intercessors over on Objective 2. 6 shots hitting on 3s. Only 3. Winning on 3s, 6s are an extra AP. 3 normal wounds.
6s to save. Didn't make any.
D3 damage, first one, 3, it kills 1. Second one, 2, and third one, 2. So it kills 3. We'll do the Tomb Blade shooting them as well. 4 shots on 3s. We're re-rolling 1s because of the Shark Stalker. Nope, into 1. 2 hits winning on 3s. 1.
5+. Nope.
We'll do the Chronomancer DX. He's going to shoot at the Outriders. 1 shot on 3. Missed. The Necron Warriors newly arrived will shoot at them as well. 20 shots hitting on 3s. I do 2 batches of 10. 8 from the first batch. Another 6, so that's 14. Winning on 4s. 6 wounds, 2 of which are -3.
4 5+. Made 1. 2 6s. No. So 1 dies, 1's down to a wound.
The Immortals will shoot the Infiltrators in the middle of the board. And I will spend a command point for Relentless Onslaught, so 6 to hit or an additional hit.
I'll spend a point for Transhuman Visibility.
So hitting on 3s. Only 5 hits, but a 6, so 6. Winning on 4s. 2, but they're at AP -3.
None of them have cover, so 6s. No, well, Wounded Man dies, 1 is ignored.
Finally, the Death Marks. They're going to try and finish off the Librarian. 5 shots on 2s, because mine will be on. All hit. Yeah, they're hitting on 2s anyway, but never mind. Winning on 3s, 6 to a mortal wound. 5 normal wounds.
5 3+ saves. Oh, failed 4. So he's definitely dead.
That brings us to the charge phase. I'll do the Overlord first. He's going to charge the Infiltrators. We'll roll it. 7. So he gets to there, and then the Shark Stalker will also just sort of nudge itself in. And the Destroyers will just declare a charge on the Outriders. So they can re-roll their charge if they fail because of the Chronomatron. 7, that might be enough anyway. And I'll pick the Destroyers to fight first. They're going to pile in like so. So we'll do the big sword first. 3 attacks hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 2 hits, wounding on 3s. Only 1, so that will kill the injured guy. So -4, 3 damage. Then the other weapons on the Sergeant. 8 attacks on 3s, re-rolling 1s. 7 hits, winning on 4s. 4.
4 6s. Oh, you made 1, but that's not enough.
And we'll consolidate to get a couple of them into cover like that. And then we're attacking the Infiltrators. Do the Overlord first.
Yeah, I'm going to spend a point for Transhuman.
So 4 attacks on 3s. 3 hits, winning on 4s. Just the 1, so it kills 1. Then the Shark Stalker, 3 attacks on 3s. Winning 2, winning on 4s. Nothing.
And the Infiltrators can fight back, and they're going to put their attacks on the Overlord. 10 attacks hitting on 3s. 5 hits, wounding on 5s. Hitting 1.
3+, he's fine. But that is the end of Necron's turn 2. On to Imperium turn 2.
So the Infiltrators will fall back. These Assault Intercessors are moving to fight the Scarabs. These Assault Intercessors are huddling up around the building so that they can charge those warriors. Captain and Lieutenant move round, and the aggressors are coming on at the end of the turn. And my Admech contingent isn't going to move. Shall I do the Lieutenant first in the shooting phase? He's going to fire his bolt gun at the Tomb Blade. So he's in rapid fire range, so 2 shots on 2s. They both hit. Wounding on 5s. Nope. The Assault Intercessors next to him will go as well. One of them will throw a crack grenade and the others will fire their bolt pistols. Black dice is the crack grenade, and these hit on 4s, rolling 1s. They all missed. The aggressors are going to go next. They're going to shoot their flamers at the Scarabs. They can all just about see through either the window or past the building. 66 automatic hits. 22 hits, wounding on 3s. No rerolls because the Lieutenant's not quite close enough.
12 wounds. The front 2 bases are in cover, so I'll do 8 on 5s. We take 6 wounds. 2 more on 5s. Oh, fine. And the last 2. Right, so that destroys 2 bases. I get a base back. No.
So I'm going to do the Skitarii Rangers next. I'm going to spend 2 command points to do galvanic volley fire, so their rifles are rapid fire too, and they're shooting at the destroyers. 24 shots from rifles, hitting on 3s and re-rolling 1s. Re-roll 1s, so that's 20 hits, wounding on 5s. 4 wounds, good job lads. Blast pistol, D3 shots, 3 0 1s. They all hit. Strength 5, so 4s. 2 wounds, everyone's one.
Cover man, fine.
Arc rifle, 2 hits, 3s, 2 wounds.
4+ cover man, so he's fine, and the second one, he's fine.
Sniper, hits, wounds.
4 again, nope. So
He's
the
dead. And supercharged plasma, reroll that 1. Oh, he blows himself up, but it gets a hit, which doesn't wound.
so 1 died. Does it come back? Nearly, but not quite.
The Tech Priest Dominus will shoot at the destroyers as well. Black dice will be the Serpenta, hitting on 2s, and I can reroll 1 from Benediction. So reroll that 1 into a hit. Black dice wounds on a 4, white dice wound on 3s, and 6s do 2 more wounds Benediction. And I can reroll 1 of these because of Benediction again, so I'll reroll the 2. So that's 3 wounds from the Volkite.
There is 1 in cover. 2. No, it takes 2 wounds and a 2. Right, so it just takes 2 wounds.
I've only got the Space Marine Captain left, and he can see the destroyer outside the building, so he'll shoot his plasma pistol, not supercharge at them. And he missed. I'll start the charge phase with this squad of Assault Intercessors. They're going to charge the destroyers and the warriors.
The warriors can set to defend. The destroyer's not wholly within the ruins, so they can't.
Charge distance is a 5, that's definitely enough. So that gets them in like that. Mostly just to tie up the warriors, and they can all fight the destroyers. Do these Assault Intercessors next. They're going to charge these Scarabs. I'll just show it here. Oh, 2. They actually fail. I'll do the Lieutenant next. He's going to charge the Tomb Blade. 6 is going to be enough. Captain will charge the Tomb Blade as well. That's not going to be enough. The Aggressors will try and charge as well. They'll charge the Tomb Blade. Need a big roll? Nope. I'll do the Assault Intercessors first. 21 attacks from the Assault Intercessors, all on the destroyers, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. 3 1s to reroll, into 3 more hits. 18 hits, wounding on 5s, rerolling 1s. 4 1s to reroll, 8 wounds.
8 4+ saves for destroyers. Made 4, but there's only 4 wounds left in the unit, so they are destroyed. I think I'll actually try and reroll 1, just to keep a destroyer there. Hitting a 4. No.
So, Lieutenant's got 5 attacks, because he 4 base plus 1 for charging, hitting on 2s, and then wounding on 5s. 2 wounds.
So 4s to save for the Tomb Blade. Hey, he dies.
The Lieutenant's closest to the warriors, so he'll consolidate this direction, so he ends up behind the wall.
And the warriors hitting back, we've got 6 attacks hitting on 3s. Only 2 hits, winning on 4s. 1.
3 plus. Failed.
That's the end of Imperium turn 2. On to Necron turn 3. Protocol will be Hungry Void with the +1 strength when charging or performing heroic intervention.
I'll do the +1 save Doctriner in case the Skitarii get shot at by those warriors. And then for my Canticle, I think it's Chant of the Remorseless Fist, gives you +1 strength when you charge. I'll do that one.
In my command phase, my will be done will go on the Immortals, and the Chronometron will go on these warriors over here with the Gauss Reapers. And then in my movement phase, there's a general movement towards Objective 3, which the Imperium obviously still need to do the action on. The remaining Scarab bases moved on top of it, so the Imperium won't be able to do it in their next turn. The Overlords move forward, the Warriors in the middle fell back slightly. Shark Stalker is heading round the corner. The Immortals moved up, the Chronomarks are moved into the middle of the board. The Death Marks are staying still. And these Warriors also moved up. The Scarabs advanced, although they rolled a 1. On to shooting. The Shark Stalker will start by shooting the Assault Intercessors in the middle. 6 on 3s. 4 hits winning on 3s. 3 wounds.
3 5+ saves. Well, I made them all.
Do all the Reaper Warriors shooting at them next. All but one of them are in range. 18 shots on 3s to roll 1s. The Shark Stalker. 5 1s. 16 hits wounding on 3s. 10 wounds.
4+ armour. Failed 4.
Immortals will shoot the Infiltrators. And spend a command point for Relentless Onslaught once again. So 2s because of my will be done. 6s an additional hit. So 10 hits total, wounding on 3s. 6.
So there is some cover from those barrels. So 6 4+ saves. Made 3, and we ignore 1, so just one guy dies.
The Chronomancer will take his shot at them as well, just out of range of the aggressors. Hits on 3. Nope. I'll re-roll that because he needs to hit. Yes. Wounds on a 2. Yes. AP -3, so he does get a 6+ save.
No.
It's D3 plus 3 damage, so yeah. Kills one. Finally got the death marks. They'll try and finish off the 2 assault intercessors who are standing in the ruins near the objective. 5 shots on 2s. Wounding on 3s, 6s are a mortal wound. Just 2 wounds, but 1 mortal wound as well.
4+ saves. Save both, so Sarge is left.
That's it for shooting. I'll have the Overlord charge those assault intercessors.
I'll set to defend.
I'm not going to roll, the Overlord's just going to go there, and the Trarch Stalker is also just going to move 2 inches to charge the Infiltrator Sergeant. Overlord first, 4 attacks on 3s. Hey, hit once. Wounds on a 2. No. And the Trarch Stalker hits twice. Wounding on 2s, because it does benefit from command protocols, and it charged, and it's strength 7 base. Well, it doesn't matter, 2 wounds anyway, AP -2.
5s for Sarge. Oh, he makes 1. Well, those assault intercessors get to fight back. 13 attacks. On 3s, you're only 1s, because the captain is around the corner. 10 hits. Wounding on 5s, you're on 1s. 4 wounds. So, I forgot they set to defense, they're actually on 2s, so there was 2 more hits in there. That's again 5s, 3 on 1, so that's 5 wounds in total.
With a 3+ save. Oh, Overlord takes 2 wounds, he's down to 3. But that is the end of Necron's turn 3, on to Imperium turn 3.
So my Marines are going to fall back. We're going to form a ring around that Scarab swarm that's covering up the objective, and if I can hold the objective, I might be okay. My Admech contingent is going to stay where it is, provide fire support. So I'll start shooting with the Skitarii. Regular guys are going to shoot at these warriors, the sniper will shoot at the Chronomancer. I'll start with the blast pistol because it's in range and there's more than 5 moles in the unit, so 3 hits on 3s, you're on 1s. Oh, good job we can re-roll. He gets 1 hit. Wounds on 3, he does, -1.
Green cover. Failed. 1 dead.
12 rifle shots on 3s, you're on 1s. Roll that 1. 11 hits, wounding on 4s, getting 3.
4s to save. 3 dead.
Art rifles in range for rapid fire, so 2 shots on 3s, you're on 1s, both hit. 1 wound, -2.
5. Nope.
I'll do the sniper at the Chronomancer. Hits, 3s, oh, wounds and does a mortal wound.
He has an invulnerable save of either 4 or 5+, but a 3 is definitely not, so that's a failure.
So D3 damage, 3.
Oh, so it kills him. And 4 warriors to reanimate. 1 comes back. So 1 warrior comes back there, and the poor unfortunate Chronomancer is 1-shotted.
Do the Tech Priest Dominus, he's going to shoot the same unit of warriors because he can still see 1 chap on the end. Black Dice Serpenter, these hit on 2s. 1 miss with the Volkite, but otherwise hit. 3s all round, 6s with the white dice do 2 mortal wounds. Just 2 Volkite wounds.
Which are on 3s. Make both.
Lieutenant here is going to throw a crack grenade at these scarabs. Hits, 2. Wounds.
No save, -1.
D3 damage, 1. I'll do Sarge. He's going to fire his plasma pistol at these warriors. Not supercharging because I don't need the damage. Hits, 3s, wounded.
6 will save because of cover. Nope. Does it come back? No.
Do the aggressors, they're going to fire their flamers at the Overlord because he doesn't have lookouts there anymore. 66 automatic hits. 22 hits. Wounding on 5s, you're on 1s. There's 1 outside the box which I'll throw in with the rerolls. And rerolls and misses, that's just 1, so it's only 6 wounds.
2s because he's in cover. He takes a wound, he's down to 2, that is important. I'll re-roll that, the reason being that if the captain decides to charge him, if he's on 3 wounds, he takes 2 hits to go down rather than 1. Yes.
So the captain's going to fire his plasma pistol at the scarabs, not supercharged. Hits, wounds on 2, it does.
That's a wound.
Charge phase, Lieutenant's just going to go in like this. This Assault Intercessor Sergeant will charge the scarabs as well. I'll roll it at 6 is enough, just gets him out of the way of the aggressors. Then the captain will charge the Overlord.
Who will set to defend?
4. 10's enough. Aggressors are going to try and charge the Trarch Stalker. Getting a 9, that is enough. Going to start with the captain. Action on the captain on 2s. Now is not the time to get 1s, it's 4 hits. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds.
2 4+ invulnerable. Oh, you may both, he's fine. I'm going to spend 2 command points for counteroffensive to let the Trarch Stalker fight before the aggressors, because it does do 3 damage. 3 attacks on 3s. Getting 2. Wounding on 3s. Getting 2.
5s. May both. We'll do the aggressors next. 13 attacks because they charged. Hitting on 4s but re-rolling 1s. Reroll 1. 6 hits. 4s. 4 wounds in there.
5 plus invulnerable. Oh, I made 1, so it takes 6 damage. It's down to 6.
Do the Lieutenant. 5 attacks on 2s on those scarabs. 4 hits and 3s. 3 wounds, so they're dead.
Yep, minus 1 AP.
Yeah, so the Lieutenant's going to stand on the objective.
Last of all, I got the Overlord.
Spending my command point for transhuman physiology.
So hitting on 2s, because set to defend counteracts the -1 to hit from his staff. Still manages to miss. So wounding on 4s because of transhuman. Saved him.
4 plus. No.
Down to 3. But that's the end of Imperium turn 3. On to Necron's turn 4. Command protocol will be Undying Legions, and I'm not going to be doing all that much reanimating, so we'll go for +2 runes regained by living metal. So that means the Triarch Stalker's up to 8, the Overlord's back up to full, and mine will be done will go on the Warriors with Gauss Reapers. And then for movement, the Triarch Stalker will stay where it is, the Overlord will stay in melee, the 2 Warriors left in that unit have moved forward a little bit, the Immortals have come up to the wall, and the Scarabs moved over to here. They moved normally, they're going to try and make a charge into the Lieutenant. Basically, if I can get to that objective, then the Imperium can't do the action. And these Warriors have moved up as well. I'm actually just going to roll my charge roll now, because if I make it and I get enough Scarabs near the Lieutenant, the Imperium can't win, so that will decide the game. If I fail, even with a re-roll, then I'll do my shooting phase. So the charge roll, they need about a 6. They get a 2. I am going to have to spend my command point. I should say I wouldn't have been spending my command point in the shooting phase.
Yeah, you'd save it to re-roll.
I'd save it for this re-roll, which is a 10.
Yeah, it's going to be enough.
So yeah, just to show you, that does get them to there. What that means is that the Lieutenant can't possibly kill all of them. So Imperium turn 4, can't start the action, and then there's no turn 6, so starting in turn 5, it won't be finished before turn 6 comes around. So this does actually win me the game, regardless of what else happens.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what else happens there.
So there we go, a Necron victory, and we'll recap the game for you now. So that was the game for issue 65 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. How did you think that went?
I think it felt more disappointed while playing the game, but I think it was actually very close. If those assault intercessors had charged that one remaining Scarab base, then that Scarab base wouldn't have been able to move on to the objective, and I could be doing the objective in turn 4, and then you would have had to deal with the Lieutenant, and you wouldn't really have been able to get to him too much.
Yeah, I might have been able to charge those Scarabs into him like I was able to, and I would have shot him with the death marks, but even then, that's 5 wounds of Space Marines, quite a lot to get through, so...
Although, I think in an earlier turn I probably should have finished off your Tomb Blaze rather than trying to wipe out the Warriors, considering your Warriors refused to die. They didn't do much for the rest of the game, but it was quite annoying to basically kill them twice over and have them keep coming back.
Yeah, I was mostly only making reanimations for them, but they made nearly all of them.
On the flip side, your Chronomancer, I don't think ever hit with his weapon, and then died, and then your Overlord whiffed in melee as well.
Yeah, there were a lot of things that, if the game had gone differently, would have come back to bite me, like the Overlord being useless in melee. Well, also a good use of transhuman physiology stymied him as well, with the attack the Infiltrators and things like that.
And the Infiltrators lasted an extremely long time.
Yeah, we'll talk about them more in general in a minute, but the Helix Gauntlet was really helpful.
I was reluctant to put them in the middle, but it may have actually been better to put them on Objective 1 and just do the objective. Even if they did all die, you might have had to slow down your advance to shoot them off the objective.
Yeah, I might have had to charge them with the Destroyers or something, which would have left the Destroyers out in the open.
But on the flip side, I think if I'd gone first, I think this game would have gone over very quickly.
Yeah, you would have been able to do the action immediately. I would not have been able to get in range of you. You could have put the Librarian doing the action on Objective 1 and then have the Infiltrators as a screen.
Yeah, I'd get one for free, basically, for my first turn and my second turn. Another strategy I think would have been interesting to try was to have the Librarian with... I can't remember what the psychic power is called, but it's the one that means you can't shoot at a Phobos unit unless it's the closest enemy unit, and just have him with the Infiltrators or the Lieutenant, and then you can't shoot them. Unfortunately, the Librarian had a bit of a bad game. And we also got to see the death marks on a decent map.
Yeah, well, I shot the Librarian because I didn't want Smite ruining my day. Actually, to be fair, he was just the most convenient target for the death marks at the time as well. I thought I might as well try and go for him.
Well, if we talk about Infiltrators in general, nice to have a Marine unit that's dedicated to shooting, and another troops unit as well, so it's not just all assault intercessors if I want to take one. I would say they are on the expensive side, being 6 power. You are paying a premium for their utility, like the Helix Gauntlet, and especially the Omni Scramblers as well, actually. That 12-inch of negation basically means reinforcements can't charge them, or even like the 12-inch range Warriors can't shoot at them on the turn they arrive, and it helps protect other units as well.
Yeah, I mean, where they were in the middle of the board, there wasn't much space for me to bring in my reinforcement units, actually, just because of that distance.
And concealed positions is really useful for taking objectives as well. And they can put out a pretty decent amount of firepower with bolter discipline.
Yeah, not having any AP does sound like they're not very effective, but with the automatic wounds and just the number of shots, and again, once we get a full unit of 10, that's actually a lot of shots.
And in the next issue, we have tactical doctrines as well, so they can have AP -1 some of the time. And we did see the Phobos Lieutenant. He's not really that amazing.
Yeah, he's not fantastic in melee.
And has no invulnerable save. His gun is 2 damage is okay, I suppose. Well, weirdly, he's in Phobos armor, but doesn't have concealed positions.
He has death from above.
Yeah, which can be useful with some of the other Phobos units, or for getting him to where you need him to be. It's probably more useful if you're intending to take the suppressors and deep strike them in. You can deep strike him in with them. It could be useful for trying to bully Cryptex or something in this collection, or the Raw Warden. He's just going to get mowed down by a serious Necron melee character.
But personally, I like his model as well. Well, I like almost all of his model. The only thing I don't like is his hairdo.
Yeah, he has a mohawk, which I guess is meant to be reminiscent of like World War II paratroopers or something.
The problem is it looks like a strap for his goggles.
Yeah, I'd prefer if he just had a helmet. I kind of like the models. I mean, the sort of tactical look doesn't fit too well into 40k, I don't think.
I do think it's a weird thing where I like the models individually, but they have a different aesthetic, which I don't think meshes that well with the Space Marines in general.
If you look at their colour schemes, they just use the same colour scheme as regular Marines, which I've painted them as. But for sneaky, stealthy dudes, yeah, it doesn't really fit with the silver armour. I think they fit with certain chapters the best. Say the Raven Guard or the Raptors or something.
But yeah, otherwise I don't think there's anything more to say for this game and this issue. So if you enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Let us know if you've been building up the Space Marine collection, did you enjoy painting the Infiltrators and all that sort of thing. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye for now.